The finger. Rampo Edogawa. The patient awoke from the anesthesia and looked at my face. A thick bandage was wrapped around his right hand, but he had no idea that his wrist had been severed. As a renowned pianist, the loss of his right wrist was a fatal injury. The assailant was perhaps a fellow musician, jealous of his fame. It had happened on a dark road at night. A stranger passing by had struck him with a sharp blade, cutting off his wrist just above the joint. He had lost consciousness immediately. Fortunately, the incident occurred near my hospital. He was brought in while still unconscious, and I did everything I could to treat him. "Oh, it was you who took care of me." "Thank you. I was drunk, and on that dark street, I couldn't even see who it was that attacked me." "My right hand, huh? Are my fingers all right?" "They're fine." "Your arm was injured a little, but it'll heal soon," I said. I couldn't bear to crush the hopes of my dear friend. Until his condition improved, I decided not to tell him that his career as a pianist had come to an end. "My fingers, too. They'll move like before. They'll be fine." I turned away from the bed and left the room, almost as if fleeing. I had firmly instructed the attending nurse not to mention the amputation for the time being. About 2 hours later, I returned to check on his condition. He had regained some strength, but still lacked the energy to examine his right hand himself. He remained unaware that his wrist was gone. "Does it hurt?" I asked, peering over him. "No, it feels much better," he replied, staring intently at my face. Then he began to move the fingers of his left hand, which rested atop the blanket, as if playing the piano. "Do you think it's okay if I move the fingers on my right hand a little? I've composed something new, and unless I run through it once each day, I don't feel right." Startled, I acted on instinct, pretending it was to keep him from moving the injured area. I pressed lightly on the spot along the ulnar nerve of his upper arm. By pressing there, one can transmit to the brain the sensation that fingers still exist, even if they are gone. He continued to move the fingers of his left hand across the blanket with apparent delight. "Ah, my right fingers are fine. They're moving well," he murmured, completely absorbed, continuing to play an imaginary melody. I could no longer bear to watch. With a glance, I signaled the nurse to continue pressing on his ulnar nerve, and I quietly slipped out of the room. As I passed by the operating room, I noticed a nurse standing rigid, staring at a shelf mounted on the wall. Her expression was unusual. Her face had gone pale, her eyes wide, transfixed by something resting there. I instinctively stepped into the room and looked at the shelf. There, in a large glass jar filled with alcohol, was his severed wrist. The moment I saw it, I was frozen in place. Inside the alcohol, his five fingers were moving. Like the pale legs of a crab, they twitched, not with full, realistic motion, but with fragile, childlike gestures, restlessly, in the rhythm of tapping piano keys.